Thank you, Dries, and thanks to Matt for putting on the persona of a new contributor and putting this comparison together for us. It can be difficult to see the forest for the trees when we're so used to an existing contribution workflow. To us, it's second nature to start a Drupal contribution by using our Drupal.org accounts to open an issue. But as Matt demonstrated, a new contributor to Drupal is going to follow the patterns they've learned from other projects. So what can we do to improve the new contributor experience? Fortunately, we have a path forward. By building on our existing GitLab integration and accelerating the replacement of Drupal.org features with their GitLab counterparts. As I watched Matt's video, I grouped his findings into several categories. First category is discovery. There are now multiple entry points that a potential contributor to Drupal might find when trying to make their first contribution. These might be Packagist, the GitHub mirror for Drupal, the GitLab repository that we host, or Drupal.org itself. From each of these, we need to ensure that the contributor finds a valid path to contribution and gets gently redirected if they go astray. The solution to this is going to be putting in place guidance on these third-party entry points with strong documentation and helpful bots that can redirect users to the right spot. The second category is account management and authentication. Most potential contributors will already have a GitHub or GitLab.com account. Having to create a new account on Drupal.org is an extra step. If possible, we should simplify this extra step to a one-click process so that if a user already has one of those accounts, they can use that existing account to create their Drupal.org profile and authenticate. The solution here is to develop a single sign-on authentication system for Drupal.org and our GitLab instance that can use these existing contributor accounts from sources like github.com or gitlab.com. The third category that Matt discovered is change first versus issue first contribution. In Matt's example, a new contributor initiates their contribution by using the code editor and is directed into opening the appropriate merge request. In Symfony, the contributor is not required to start an issue to begin their contribution. This is inverted 180 degrees from how we work in Drupal. In Drupal, we always start from the issue and not from the code change. But that pattern likely doesn't match what contributors expect. Whether a user starts from the code change or from an issue, they should be able to initiate their contribution. The solution is to allow contribution directly from the GitLab IDE, opening merge requests even without attached issues. To do this, we may need to use GitLab's issues rather than Drupal.org's custom issue tracker for its tighter integration between GitLab collaboration features and issue management. This is also going to mean that we're going to need to use solutions like GitLab scoped labels to handle the metadata that's currently used to organize the core issue queue. The fourth category is waiting for test results. After Matt makes his contribution, he goes back to look for his test results, first realizing that they're posted to the Drupal.org issue and not to the merge request, and then having to stumble through a user interface that offers too many options to click and doesn't make it clear that actually he's just waiting for the test results to complete. It doesn't help that Drupal core tests currently take almost an hour and a half to complete, even with dedicated 32 core machines for each test run spun up on AWS. The solution for this is to move to GitLab CI and pipelines for continuous integration in the Drupal project, for its tight integration between test results and GitLab issues. We also need to work with core contributors to optimize the speed of running Drupal core tests so that they can complete faster. Finally, the last and perhaps most important category is just improving user experience and removing Drupalisms. There are key user experience questions that go unanswered in Matt's contribution attempt. Where's the right place to start my contribution? Am I following the right contribution process? When will I have my test results? Who will review my changes? What does the term issue fork mean? And are those gray bubbles test results? What about all these other links on the page? In the interest of providing all the data someone might possibly want, we often make it too easy to go down the wrong path. The solution here is to leverage tools like the support bots and automatic assignment rules that we saw in the Symfony example to show new contributors the ropes, to assign reviewers for code changes, and to communicate the next steps on a given issue. So how will we get there? By accelerating the migration to GitLab, we can address each of these issues and build on the improvements we've already made in the last year. The roadmap for these improvements will be about 9 months long, assuming that we can fully dedicate 2 of the DA engineering team members. And unfortunately, we already had a full roadmap planned for 2021 with many other important priorities. That's why immediately following DrupalCon, we'll be starting a search process for new candidates to join the engineering team. With one hire, we hope to be able to complete these improvements in about 14 months. With 2 hires, we believe we should be able to complete that GitLab acceleration in only 9. We're confident in our ability to make the first hire quickly, and we're talking to partners who can help support the second hire. If you're interested in supporting this work, please reach out to the Drupal Association at drupal.org/contact. If the initiative that Dries proposed earlier today is about making it possible to fall in love with Drupal, then I would say that this initiative is about making it possible to fall in love with Drupal contribution. Let's get there together.